welcome back. We're going to go on to the final best of 5 for tonight. Had some very interesting games, some very weird builds, some pretty big upsets.
No question there.
And Deer just eliminated Gumiho. Great job, Deer. You take out Gumiho, I think it's safe to say you can go on against any other Terran. And we're going to wrap this up tonight with a best of 5, Maro versus Rogue and Terran versus Zerg.
Yes, and Maro versus Rogue, obviously a team kill, as you can see here. They're both still in BlizzCon contention, so that's a really, really big deal.
That's right.
And the person that they're chasing down is also on Jin Air Green Wings. So there's just a lot of interesting play here, right? Right now, SOS holds that 8th spot. So we'll see who wins. What do you think about this one, Tasteless? Maro Rogue.
I think I lean a little bit to Maro here, but Rogue is very good. Rogue could definitely do it. I think it's going to be close.
I'm actually definitely feeling Rogue, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. It's always tricky, man, when you got 2 guys who are this close.
Yeah.
I mean, they know each other's play style very well, Artosis.
Yeah. Well, Maro, and I mean, obviously whoever loses here doesn't make BlizzCon, but it's important to know Rogue has the least points out of people who can make BlizzCon.
That's true.
He really needs a lot of things to go right, whereas
Rogue's career has yo-yoed so much as well.
Yeah, it has.
Really solid to then, he's choking, or he's throwing, or whatever it is. So let's see. Maro is definitely hungry to not just win the Super Tournament, but to go to BlizzCon.
I know. This guy is, like, recently missing championships. Like, this is someone you expect at least every other year to be winning something really big. I mean, he's Maro. Come on. He's one of the greatest Terrans of all time. It hasn't been quite there for him. He's obviously still in fantastic shape. He's still in BlizzCon running. But, dude, Rogue right now, Rogue this year, he is a stone-cold killer. Okay? He's so strong. I've been loving his play overall. I think he's, I feel like him and Dark are the only people, the only Zergs that have a chance to truly, like, for instance, if they're at BlizzCon, right, and you have Innovation going to the finals and a Zerg is against him, it better be Dark or Rogue, in my opinion, right now.
I feel like Dark is just a little bit better than Rogue. I think Dark has proven that he's just more sanded down. He's sanded down more of the edges in his play.
Okay.
And cleaned it up just a little bit more. Whereas Rogue seems to there's a lot of knowledge and things growing inside of his mind, but he hasn't been able to streamline all that wisdom from playing, all the stuff he's learned, and hammer that together into effective builds that he can execute and then come out victorious with.
Yeah, well, I mean, his only championship so far is IEM Shanghai, and that was a really legit stacked tournament this year, and that is why he has a chance to go to BlizzCon is those points. So, but you're definitely right. Like, Dark is King Zerg for the time being, but if someone is to upset him, I do feel like it's this guy right here, right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people are like, what about Sue? It's like, well, yeah, Sue, but he doesn't win championships. He's the second best Zerg. But
if we had somebody to go in the finals against Innovation at BlizzCon to lose, it'd be Sue, if anything.
Oh, absolutely.
One day he is going to win a tournament, Artosis.
I actually hope it's BlizzCon. That would be the sickest thing.
Oh, my God. That would be the story
of
all stories.
He'll be in the finals, and Control will be on the couch saying how he's just going to lose because he always gets second.
Why are we in the couch this game, guys? I'm not going to win anyways.
But then he wins.
Yes, exactly. In the upper left, in the blue, he is
Jin Air Green Wings, Maro.
I heard that, Artosis. In the bottom right, in the red.
Jin Air Green Wings, Rogue.
Today actually moved a little bit quicker than I thought.
Yeah.
We ended up with a lot more short games. Some of these timing attacks actually working and just killing other players. Kind of crazy.
By the way, pool first versus command center first.
Yeah. Thanks all you guys who came down to the studio. We love you. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, I didn't see the sign. Too late. I think it was bunny rabbits on the left against marshmallow men on the right. I'm not sure.
Fairly certain you're correct about that.
I think I got it right.
Yeah, I think you nailed that for sure.
So
All right,
it's going to take me a minute to process some of these signs. We've already learned that apparently if somebody holds up a sign that says Austria, I immediately read it and go, oh, Australia, that's cool. I've been to Sydney. And then it goes another thing. Takes me a minute.
Yes. One will be eliminated. It is very true. This is why it's really exciting going into this event just because of that. And it won't even necessarily get decided very quickly, right? Because, for instance, 2 of the people in the round of 8 are still in it at least.
Yeah.
Right? Because they played each other. Just the way the bracket worked out, it's like really, really interesting and exciting. I think the only way the bracket could have worked out more exciting is if all of them were on a side with SOS and he had to eliminate all of them to go to BlizzCon.
That's true.
I think that would have been like the craziest. That would have been hilarious. He's just like, he comes out of the tournament covered in blood. He's like, BlizzCon will be mine. The cucaracha never dies.
The link's coming up now. It's going to be 3 hatches, 3 expos being made up here. Sometimes I forget. I'm not used to the bodies going up on this.
Yeah.
When I saw that first link get shot on, I thought the link just jumped over the the add-on, and I'm like,
Was there a patch last
I'm like, what happened? Did I miss something, guys? Am I out of the loop?
It's funny.
I actually do think this is the best StarCraft 2 map, by the way.
It is, I think.
I feel like it's brought us the largest, most diverse games, whether those be quick, short, awesome games, really intense mid games that end in some kind of push or timing, or late games where almost the entire map is mined out. I think this is really, and it's funny because when all these new maps come out, everybody's of course trying to wrap their head around how it's going to operate in each matchup and what the overall arching themes are. In this one, we ended up reevaluating multiple times as it kept delivering a different style. Even in the same matchup, it can deliver different games. Of course, there's also a lot of options for where you take the third base, for instance. It's a very interesting map.
Actually, when the map first came out, I felt like it was poorly balanced. I think a lot of people did right at the beginning.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then also, the color scheme, I couldn't see my units and stuff. Like I was just like staring at it.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah,
the color was weird. And I remember people were talking about there might be a patch that adjusted it, like the map might have gotten updated. And I don't know if I think it did. But what could have also happened is I played it enough time that my brain adjusted and I can see. But I don't know. Someone tweet that. I actually never checked which one's the case. Because the thing is,
I know
people always whine until they figure it out, and it's like, I'm like, oh, my eyes, I can't see things. But it's like, eventually you'll be able to.
They had
if you stare at the sun long enough, then you can see it properly, right?
Okay, we have Hellions coming out. Now, this is blocked off, which is basically eliminates a lot of the options for Maro to try to effectively harass here. The Raven is with this group, with the Reaper of the Hellions coming up.
Oh, he's going mad!
Artosis is so happy right now. All we need to make Artosis happier is if they were meching on Mech Depot, and then it would just be it. By the way, I think it might even be more pertinent than that is how much damage this is doing over here.
Yeah, seriously.
These queens are almost out of juice right now.
That auto turn, oh my god.
Oh!
Rogue, what are you doing,
Rogue's
bro?
been breached.
Uh-oh. Please don't kill him. I want to see the mech game.
Who needs late game mech units when you kill them with the early game mech units?
Oh, man. That's how cost efficient these units can be.
So cost efficient, you don't even have a late game. This is a dozen drones killed, by the way. There was an auto turret chucked down there at the natural. So a dozen units killed, but...
that was damage, man.
That was more damage than it was supposed to. I think when he saw that there were only 3 queens, Maro made a very smart decision and said, wait a minute, I can either kill these 3 queens or just go kill all your workers.
Yeah.
Because you don't have enough that if I'm right-clicking past you and we're not trading damage, it's not...
Totally.
It's more effective for Maro to just go for it. Yeah. So well done there.
It was really well done by Maro, and he definitely has that advantage now. It's going to be a Hydralisk play coming out of Rogue here, but it's against Mech, so not necessarily what's actually good against Mech. By the way, did I ever tell you the story about how me and my wife met?
How was that, Artos?
Well, she was playing StarCraft and she made 2 factories, and I just proposed right there.
Oh, is that how?
And
It makes sense.
We lived happily ever
I believe
after. And she had a reactor in one of the factories and a tech lab on the other.
Oh, that is.
And
a
that's how I got my
thing.
children.
That's when you put a ring on it, man.
And it was just perfect.
By the way, he's going to push in here, like right away. Like he's actually, we did not see Thors used a lot like this until the very early games. So never forget, guys, that Thors do go into fetal position when they get hooked onto the Metavis, and then scrape their little tippy toes on the ground.
This particular Thor move, this is a Gumiho special right here, which is why you should believe that he can make it work against Protoss.
Look at this. Upgrades? Did someone say upgrades?
I didn't say upgrades.
And look at this. He picks up, and with the speed of the Hellions and the Medivacs boosting with the Thors, this is like a pretty sick harass.
Yeah, no, he's doing a great job, and it's so hard to kill the Thors. What do you do to kill these? What Rogue is trying is flanking with Hydra, so that's a very good way to do it. But like, you're not going to kill with roaches.
Yeah,
exactly.
More Hellions coming in here. Looks like there's enough links to defend this. Although, no, never mind. Good surround. I was going to say Maro might be able to get an angle that just trades really effectively with this.
Yeah, without Blue Flame done and getting surrounded there, gets cleaned up. But he continues to produce all of these mech units, making quite a strong army, taking his 4th base at the moment as well. You can see, actually, he lost both the Thors in the Medivacs. That's crazy. I didn't see that happen.
What?
Yeah, he got caught somewhere. I don't know where
They're
it
gone?
happened.
Are you sure?
I'm sure, 100% sure.
Oh my God. Yeah, I guess they are gone.
Yeah. That's
This is
wild.
Wow,
So
that's bad, dude.
Hydra's caught him. That's the only explanation, Tasteless. They didn't die to Queens.
They must have gone down when those initial 4 Hellions were trying to hit that expansion down there.
Yeah, it must have been.
He's probably microing that too hard, but that's a lot to lose.
And now 13 Swarm Hosts on the way.
Uh-oh.
Now, the Swarm Host play obviously can be very, very good against mech. Part of what Gumiho was doing to counter this is utilizing those Thors, because they just shoot them out of the air, the Locust, right? And then if you dive on the Thors, you just pick them up. Yeah. And then afterwards, obviously, if you have enough Vikings, you're shooting Locusts out of there as well. But he has started his Vikings, but he lost those Thors, so that's a really big deal.
That's unfortunate when you consider just how staggered he is right now. Granted, I don't know if those Thors would have saved the day against Swarm Hosts, but the Swarm Hosts are already in position. And this is where everything starts to get chewed away here for Maru. As long as those Swarm Hosts don't get cornered and shot down, it's a lot of losses here for the mech. I mean, it's so effective to trade into them like this.
Over time, these will just gain him so much value. As you said, if he doesn't get cornered with them, if he keeps them alive, they're just going to be awesome.
Yeah.
The longer you have him out there, the more active you can keep them. He continues to add on. He's getting Baneling speed here as well, so that he can trade very, very well, harassment-wise, but also into Hellions and Hellbats. Looks like Cloaked Banshees and Banshee speed on the way here.
Well, this is a great way to catch the Swarm Hosts if they're not guarded correctly.
And just in general against Zerg, it's hard for them to catch that.
The Swarm Hosts, they take up a decent amount of supply. They always have to be in a certain position on the map, but it's usually not being used for defensive purposes. Speed Banshees with Cloak coming out, just destroying everything that Zerg has. Against this unit comp, it's great against Zerg. Uh-oh.
Well, he's trying to come out to get these Swarm Hosts. Looks like he's going to come down. He has those Speed Banes. Got to be careful there with those Hellions.
Okay, well, that's sort of kind of not going to work.
Yeah, not quite.
As you see that Siege Tank artillery shot connect with that.
But
so, here comes the Locust coming in now.
Dude,
he goes for the tanks here.
I love Rogue's play. Like, watching
really
this,
good.
everything about this kid's player is amazing to me. Like, the way that he stayed on Hydra Bane here, right? He did catch the Thors, which is a mistake on Maru's part, but at least you can catch Thors. And then, like, for instance, with these Swarm Hosts, he's trying his best right now, Maru, to stop them, but he just escorts them up with the Speed Bane Hydra. And it's like, well, that's... he's doing a good job. He's getting his volleys off. That one got slowed down a little bit, but he's gaining value off of them over time.
Yeah, he's got a really decent mobile force to deal with it. By the way, there were 18 SCVs killed, like, immediately when those Locusts got over there. And now he can just continue to go for other stray bases. And, you know, with Hydra Bane here backing this up, even though this is a super expensive army, like if you lose all this and you don't train effectively, oh my god.
And it does really poorly against the static defense. Things like siege tanks,
right,
just does nothing.
Well, that's what the Locusts are really there for, is they're sort of there to get the dirty work done. And then if Terran ever freaks out and tries to just address this issue in the middle of the map, Hydra Baneling.
Yeah.
Okay, no, don't do it!
Yeah, that is not where he wants to go. This landing of the Locust not doing quite as much this time.
You know, there's enough tanks spread out here, and it's a planetary. It's going to take a long time to get rid of that.
Yeah.
I think those Locusts are rotating around now. Oh, you know, they still are. It looks like the Banshees are actually trying to find them on the bottom of the map, and they did not.
Oh, man. Can you see those flames even though they're cloaked? Wouldn't that be cool? You just see flames in the air. Like,
imagine,
the sky's on fire!
Imagine cloaked fire, Artosis. What does that even look like?
Cloaked fire.
Yeah. Well, kind of an odd situation. For Zerg to rotate all the way around and keep hitting these available bases, it's actually a pretty long walk. Yeah. Okay, great job there. Harpoon's one of those, and another one, too.
Dude, by the way, Maru's getting dirty. I hope you went pee before we started this, Tasteless. He's making Ravens. Tasteless.
Oh, Artosis.
And that means long, long, long game coming in. As long as Rogue does not finish him off soon, when you go mass Ravens, that is as cost efficient as you can get. Ooh, sick.
Denied. Weapons 3. Beautiful. Well, you're right. He's going to go for Ravens, but I'm a little bit worried. I think the momentum of damage behind what Rogue is doing is pretty scary, dude.
It is.
Not to mention the minerals and gas he's banked behind all this. He's actually bringing spores up. Oh, my God. This is so great.
But, you know, when you have a ton of Ravens out, you start using seeker missiles, point defense drones, you know, all this stuff. The cost efficiency gets really, really wild. I wonder if he's going to like add any ghosts or anything. It feels like the Vipers are the one unit that might be able to screw things up for him here.
Yeah, well, the Viper is kind of I mean, he's already used a little bit of that, but maybe going for Vipers is one way to handle this. By the way, a pretty bold move here. I think this is going to pay off. Going right for the Spire here. Ooh. Now, he'll take out these Banshees, but I think, honestly, Terran's fine with that. Eliminating any progression with air tech is going to be huge, especially when Terran basically wants a turtle on Ravens.
And he's got 6 right now. A really healthy amount of siege tanks here as well.
Yep.
There are a few Banshees still in this clump.
Terran
good amount of Vikings.
Ooh. Uh-oh, he needs something to back that up. Now again, the overall scary thing for the Terran is that Zerg is going to keep taking the map. Zerg's going to keep acquiring bases. It's going to be a long push for Terran to get there. At the same time, those expansions that Zerg's taking are far out on the edges, closer to the Terran than the bases that Zerg's are on now. And so that's also going to be an issue for the Zergs. If Terran can effectively push into those corner bases, it's going to be a lot to deal with. Whoa, so much damage, it's almost funny.
That's just wild. Even with point defense drones coming off, man.
You see just like green bricks of health disappearing on that CC. Oh man.
Just crazy. Both sides getting like every upgrade still.
Oh no!
Oops.
My muffins.
I forgot they're hell
muffins, man.
Oh jeez.
Okay. There is so much going on here. Lots of damage being dealt here to Terran. It seems like both players have suffered losses, but Rogue definitely with the bank to refinance a good army immediately.
Yeah. Dude, Maru is trying to make this a long and dirty game for Rogue, but these parasitic bombs, this great spell casting, the constant harassment from these swarm hosts. And then you see, like, for instance, the Banelings just erase that many Hellbats? Jeez.
Oh my god, that's a lot of Banelings. This looks like we're in something from a Goosebumps book coming up here, Artosis. But it's a lot scarier. No offense to R.L. Stein, but this is
it's scary as a kid.
It was, man. You ever read the Goosebumps of the Ventriloquist doll? Ooh, very scary. The CC's been lifted. This counterattack is doing too much damage. I think Rogue's actually falling apart. I mean, excuse me, Maru's falling apart.
Yeah.
Rogue's actually done like the perfect game. Like you turtling scumbag Terran. This is what happens. I am Zerg. I am the Swarm.
Really scary stuff. Look at this. The Locust jumping all over these siege tanks. They do get some value onto these Banelings.
Banelings crashing into siege tanks in siege mode.
Yeah. Look at this. He has so many Banelings that they get hit by the siege tanks and then still roll into
Ring
them.
around the rosy. Bop. I'll go make some more. Rogue is still maxed out after running all those Banelings in there. This isn't the prettiest way to win. At least from an economic standpoint, we're like, that's what we call value. No, but honestly, Zerg has gained so much money that he's just going to go for the heavy artillery. He says, what deals the most damage the fastest in a fight so that Terran can't sustain and hang on? And his is it. Locust coming into the front.
Oh, man. Look at those blinding clouds coming down. Just massive blinding clouds right there.
No damage under there. Terran, I think, still comes out barely on top.
Jeez.
But it should be time for Rogue to just reload, rinse and repeat with a bigger army. This is a clunky Terran army. It's not the slowest army in the game, but it's also definitely nowhere near as mobile as what we have from our Zerg.
As the Banelings erase all of these Hellbats, man, the Lings that come out will clean up all the rest.
GG. Rogue takes game 1.
Ooh.
Maru feeling the heat here. Well, that was a real treat of a game.
Yeah, even after Maru got that nice early Hellion damage, definitely losing those 2 Thors and Medivacs, though, was a gigantic moment. If he has those out and the Swarm Hosts come, the Swarm Hosts are not going to be as effective. I mean, they still have the Hydras to escort them a bit, but that is a lot of lost pressure from Maru. You know, it costs them a lot of money to get those out. Well, you know, they certainly didn't pay for themselves.
Look, the days we saw Ravens really kick ass in mech games were some of these maps were that you could mech on it, but it was also small. This map's a lot bigger, and so you're sitting there banking up Ravens. They're still going to get other bases up. Like, you're still growing. It's true. He had like 9K or something like that, 3K gas just sitting there.
But yeah, I liked how Rogue didn't really let Maru recover.
Yeah.
At any point, he kept that pressure on. He was rolling around and just destroying chunks of area. And Maru was just unable, because if you get everything stabilized with a bunch of Ravens, the damage becomes harder and harder and harder to deal. And you even saw at the end, Maru with that little army actually made Rogue use a lot to get rid of it.
Super Tournament Season 2.
All right, guys, game number 2. Right now, 0-1, Maru Rogue. In the upper left, in the blue, he is
Jin Air Green Wings, Maru.
and his opponent here in the bottom right, in the red.
Jin Air Green Wings, Rogue.
All right. Go, Rogue, go. Yeah, Rogue. Go, Rogue!
Fear the Swarm. I do wonder if we're going to see more mech. It's kind of weird because we've sort of had the day of bungled mech games.
Yeah.
This has been the day of Artosis disappointments.
Yeah.
Artosis like, he's going mech. But then the guy dies, and it's like, the thing is, if they're all doing it, then it's working somewhere in the Terran world.
Here.
Just apparently not when it counts. But I mean, if we have all these different Terrans who are doing different variations of mech in different matchups, then, I mean, there has to be something to that, right? I mean, just because it doesn't work today doesn't mean it
won't work tomorrow.
It won't work tomorrow. But, yeah, unfortunately.
I don't think it'll work tomorrow either.
You don't think so? Let's hedge our bets here. Yeah, it is funny. You know, both Gumiho, let's get rid of early game for the second. Both Gumiho and Maru, I think of them for their good infantry play. I always have. Until recently.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, I definitely think Amaru is that still, even though he uses mech quite often.
Yeah, same. But now, yeah, we even see him going for it. Even, was it Maru, the player who was going mech in like the super close TVZ, I think a season ago? Or somebody who kept going mech and losing and switched back into bio at the end and won?
Oh, wait. No. Maru was going... Well, a similar story to that. I think I...
do I have the player swaps in my mind?
No. But, like, remember Maru tried to do all Byun's Reaper strats?
Oh, that's it.
And
I'm
then
sorry.
eventually he was losing with them, so he just played normal, then won.
Yeah, pretty funny.
He's like,
my
I don't
God.
know, I thought I was better than that with Reapers. It's like, no, only Byun can do that, sorry.
Okay, so he's trying to shuffle the SCV around on this. He's gonna get a time. Oh!
Oh, man.
It finishes. That SCV had to push the last part of the building on there.
With its dead body.
With its dead body, he had to
He's
fall
like,
onto it.
I'm about to die, but I'll fall
Yeah.
forward with my wrench arm
Yeah.
and tighten the last bolt.
Yeah, he didn't even know too. He actually was dead.
It was a
the
noble
animation
sacrifice.
wasn't even finished, man. He
Yeah.
doesn't even know.
He died
Wow.
thinking he never finished the command
Yeah.
center. He didn't get to do it.
Yeah. The last words out of his mouth.
We gotta let his SCV family know. His dad, which is a Thor. If we see his Thor this game, we gotta tell him, man.
Yeah.
Your son did it. He built the command center.
I knew he could do it. I gotta get a tattoo. Never forget.
Is that the voice?
Yeah.
I love it.
That's what he sounds like. I didn't think
What unit would his mom be? I'm like, just the medevac? It's like, no, it's not like a...
she met the dad on the field, on the battlefield.
Oh, she carried him around
The dad
until
was
the
a
Hydras got
Thor.
them both.
Yeah. Maybe they started up some small talk. He asked her out on a date.
Yeah.
They both didn't die in that mission, so.
You know, I have 2 different modes to shoot air units. Oh, that's nice.
Most of it was cliche Terran talk. Hope there aren't any Zergs on this map. Well, there are. It's a one-on-one against a Zerg. Okay, first Terran push.
Yeah, nice little harassment push here with that mine.
Oh, that was the
sick
part you're
targeting.
supposed to get.
Yeah, and that was totally targeting there as well.
Yeah.
Very well done. And Rogue tried to split his Zerglings 2 under the medevac to try to draw it up there. But very good micros so far here by Maru, as he is well known for.
He's staying a good distance here. The creep's not quite close up enough to where Zerg can really get in there. He wants to try to get rid of that mine first. Maru just, he's always been good at this. Just sort of little fights. What?
What am I seeing? This is crazy.
These are these pushes I always feel like weren't supposed to work, just because I guess I don't feel like that's the way the game looks most of the time and works, but it does.
That's super cool,
You know?
man. I like it.
Okay, here we go. Another mine hit.
Ooh, that
gets
mine
the medevac.
drag was actually really good for Rogue.
Yeah.
But that bunker is trying to come up. Is he
my
going to
God.
finish the bunker?
Is that his twin brother? No!
He is. He's just a less successful twin.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so he does take care of this, no problem. No, that's not that Zerg didn't suffer his own losses there. You know what I'm talking about when you see these rushes where it's like, well, I'll just make a bunker over here and a siege tank in a funny place.
Oh, yeah.
And I always
Well, I
every
look
time
at that,
it, I'm like, that's not supposed to work, right?
I think that's why we were both like, what?
Well, the thing is, it does work, but I always feel like if you play enough, eventually people are, if the game's kind of balanced enough as
Yeah.
it is, especially with one tank, you're like, no, that doesn't stop me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think he wasn't. I don't think he ever thought he'd kill the hatch, but maybe because he got such a good mind connect, he's like, I can get this really efficient.
Oh, okay. So you
know?
think it's more of like a
Just some efficiency.
he that part works, so then he follows it up.
Yeah, like force more lings, Like if you get the bunker up, it becomes really dirty for Zerg to break through there. Like all the queens are using their energy, some of them are dying. He has a lot of queens, by the way.
Yeah, well, I think he had to get him. He was kind of forced into it. So I think the other response, I don't know if this is organic or pre-planned from Rogue, but he's taking the gold base.
Yeah,
You take out that many of the Terran units early on. It's going to take a while for Mario to get his footing back.
And just the fact that he's on like Queen Ling Bane right now, which I really, really like, taking this gold base and he's going into Hydra. Oh, I love it. It's perfect. With this many queens, he can push the creep out really far, and with that extra gold base, like as long as he doesn't lose any economy like right now, he is going to have this macro engine that is just ridiculous to deal with.
Let's see how these two medevacs do coming out. Maru is not usually one to just lose the medevacs, but
He's not doing anything with those.
Yeah, he's gonna Scoot home.
Those are
Don't Lings look just funny when they're right-clicked on the medevac?
Yeah, they do.
And they're all it looks like they're butting heads together.
Yeah.
It's some kind of like weird ritual.
It's like you're feeding like one of those artificial koi ponds that has too many fish in it.
It
You
looks
drop
like
the food in, and they just all of them are like jumping out of the water trying to get it.
I always feel it looks like somebody, like it's a bunch of chickens and they all just drop, the medevac drops chicken feed and they're all kind of like eating it up.
It's like a bunch of little tastelesses, and there's like a StarCraft game in the middle of the cast, and they're all like,
Yeah, man, it's little baby tasteless, man. Before they turn into Bane tastes.
Bane taste.
That's right.
That's the real GGs right
Yeah,
there.
that's when they really come out.
They GG so loud that
there's
they
the
deal
GG.
a bunch of splash damage
That's
to
right.
light units.
It doesn't matter how much armor you have, the gravitas in the GGs is too much. the oven is on.
I love it.
Oh, he's coming. Oh, my God, that was a really good target there on the Banes.
Yeah, fantastically
Yeah.
done. He'll lose those siege tanks, but this is some good pressure. 2 siege tanks do remain for him, but as these Hydras pop out and with the creep spread this good, ooh, he's got to pick that up.
Yeah, you gotta.
Dude, like,
out.
I like tank pushes from high ground against Lingbane Hydra, but losing those 2 tanks, like 4 tanks and 2 tanks, that's 2 tanks different, Stasis. That's twice as many.
What
That's
are these
half as
queens
many.
doing?
Ooh.
Queens did not get the memo on that one. I think you are right. If we have enough Hydras in this group, he might be able to push forward, but losing those queens, man. Oh, hold up. I don't know what happened there. We got that back on camera and everything was dead.
He has a bit too much here. He's on the gold
Yeah.
base. He didn't really take that much damage from the initial attacks. Sure, Maru has 3 bases, but when your opponent is just massing Ling Bane and then go into Hydra, like, you got to either hit a massive tank timing or just go really late game, I guess. You know, it's really hard to play with the bio at this point.
Again, though, splitting that is pretty nice by Maru, but numbers from Rogue that do not care about control anymore. Oh, I'm surprised he actually backed up there.
Pulls back, playing
I
a little
guess he
bit
wants
safely.
to try to get the bases. He wants to cut out these 2 locations from each other.
Oh god, the Lings get inside on top of the siege tank here as well. Pick that off.
Okay, Rogue, man, this guy makes a lot of units. Gold bases are pretty good, guys.
Rogue is
Seven
pretty
years
good.
later, guys, I've learned that the gold bases, they're pretty good.
I never thought that. I saw them put in. I'm like, I think
Yeah.
that's worse than a blue base.
Yeah. That's,
But Rogue taught me
yeah,
here today.
but Rogue, now it's no longer up in the air, up for debate.
It was like, you really want to nerf the economy legacy of the Void, make all the bases gold.
Yeah.
But I guess
Oh my God,
I was
imagine
wrong.
that. Imagine all that. This is
It's like the blue bases are in the middle. I'm like, why would I ever take
Yeah.
that? Like,
the blue bases give you more than the gold bases, is what happens.
it's like
We need minerals
we
that are
just
worth more than
changed
that.
the colors.
Yeah.
It's like blue minerals mine fast.
It's like,
gold
but what
mine
about
slow.
the blue gas bases, Artosis? Those give you the most. Oh, my God. All right.
Units that you make with gold minerals
Do you ever notice
conduct
this?
electricity
There's a
better.
beach. There's a beach south of here. See the bottom of the screen? That is actually
yeah.
2 seats.
Yeah, that's one for me and one for you. And
Yeah.
then we got a little umbrella there.
Yeah, that's where we're casting from on this map.
There's a little kayak over there too.
Oh, God.
That one's for me. I don't think you can.
Yeah, I don't
You're not
trust
okay.
us on a kayak together. The problem right now is that Terran is not doing damage on the right side of the map, really. Zerg is basically maxed out. And then I don't know if Terran can muster enough of an army to actually secure that gold base on his side of the map. That gold base is only just now kicking in for Maru.
Yeah. One thing I really need to point out is that Rogue got 1-1 really, really early. Okay, just now starts 2-2, but 3-3 is on the way for Maru, so he's going to be up 2 upgrades for most of the game. That is a massive difference, but Rogue really has quite a strong lead right now. Like, he's making Vipers, he has an Ultralisk Cavern, he's getting Adrenal right now for his Lings. I mean, this is some great stuff coming out of Rogue, so Maru, I mean, he has the upgrades on his side, but that's it.
Oh, dude, he can just right-click on that building with the Banelings if he wants to. Now, he's coming in now. I guess where the SCV is driven out. Oh, great counter in here.
That is a lot of Zerglings on top of absolutely everything. Adrenal just barely not done as that hits, unfortunately for him. But Maru actually doing some counter damage, doing a pretty good job with that.
What? What? All right. That was probably not a good pot to pick the command center. Yeah, I mean, Maru's done some damage. He's beaten him up a little bit here. But that gold base was shut down.
Yeah.
As we can see here, though, for Rogue, this gold base is almost dried up. So he needs to go to some new places if he wants to keep a lead here.
Well, he is taking that bottom right.
Oh, get him. could Baneling the SCV Artosis.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh,
He just
too bad.
scans in. The tank was close enough. Or far enough away, rather. Ultralisks being created right now.
Now, the Ultralisks are where the Zerg can really sustain pushing for a while. Even if it's always better on creep. That's always the story with Zerg. But even if it's off creep, you can kind of push out here. And even if the Terran's not... Because sometimes if the Terran's set up really, really well, you just get a bunch of very good shots. And you see, like, the fight totally yo-yo back into the Terran's favor where it looks scary. Oh!
Whoa! What is up? He turned on a dime right there. Going right into that main base. Look at this. You pulled me to your doom.
Yeah, that was actually kind of funny. That was almost cartoony how that went down. Yoink. All right. You got anything for it? There it is.
Finally.
3 abilities later.
Yeah.
Has Terran actually kept Zerg occupied enough on the map? I feel like Terran's actually getting to the point where he's sort of okay. I know that Rogue's gearing up for a big attack. We see he's draining the HP here to get enough energy to really have a big fight coming up here. The Ultras are out in enough of a number that he could do it, but I actually think Terran might be able to hold on.
Well, he's getting ghosts, and that's really what you need at this point in the game with the Ultralisks out, with those Vipers flying around. Like, those things need to be sniped. That's it. And having those out, like, if he can hold on, he's on 4 bases technically here. But is he defended enough anywhere to hold on against this attack long enough for the Ghost to gain him the value to get back in this game?
Let's see where he tries ahead. I'm actually not clear on what else. It doesn't think there's actually much up here, which is one problem. Because this can't be salvaged. It's a planetary too, so he's got to remake over there. Oh, these Liberators got this, no problem. So,
we got a Ling. We got a Ling, Maru. Is that good enough?
And so he's waiting for more of Maro's forces to go down to the bottom to cover there, and now he comes in here. So he's basically dissecting Maro.
Ooh, he abducts an SCV into the middle of his army. That was a really dead SCV.
That's definitely one of the worst ways to die as an SCV.
That's a meat grinder right there, though. He actually took a lot of damage. Lift it! Hey.
Rogue's developed enough that he has that jumping Baneling ability in the single player for Heart of the Swarm. Just hop up there and kill it.
That's a good one.
Yeah, remember, did you get that one when you played?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, well, I'm not trying anymore in this game.
It's like I'm too lazy to load the Banelings into overloads.
It's literally like the worst.
No, I just want jumping Banelings, please. Ooh, look at that guy. He's biding his time right now.
Yeah.
I want the +3 attack.
Maru's going to try to come out. Are there enough Vipers with this army? I actually don't see any on screen.
Yeah, I think he lost some of them, but at this point, like, Maru, he's eaten up the bank of Rogue. Rogue is still technically maxed, but now that there's no super bank that he can just, like, remax with instantly, he has to be very careful and choose his spots. And with this many ghosts out, he starts hitting those snipes, man.
Now, the counterattack is doing enough damage because Maru, oh my god, he's actually coming in here. The Ultras cannot get up. They're actually stuck. They're like wedged behind. So it gives the Ghosts a lot more opportunities to try to do damage. And now it's just Marauders. That was a horrible attack by him.
Maru just crushing.
3-3 is done, by the way. I wonder if that Baneling went off in the gold base. Problem is that, like you were saying, Artosis, he doesn't actually have a bunch of minerals and gas really banked. I guess he has a decent amount of gas banked up, but Maru's just making Marines and Marauders. Oh man, I want this Baneling to go off.
Everyone does.
Everybody.
Even
Maru's
we're gonna miss it. It's gonna say like 50 SCVs die, and I'm like, no, I just wanted to see that. This game was a waste.
He's looking for a good harpoon here. Boop, there it is. And actually, you know, getting these medevacs is smart.
Yeah. Well, any way that you can.
Those are the units of highest value at this point in time.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Please kill those SCVs.
Wait, okay, so.
There's only 31 workers from Maru, by the way.
It just made everything very red. SCVs have more health than probes and drones.
Well,
fair.
The Marines are coming. Marines and Marauders are poking in. He's got a good angle. Now there's, again, no more new Ghosts coming in here until that Ghost Academy's finished. I don't believe that was remade. If it was, we'll see.
Well, even against this composition, the Ghosts aren't necessarily going to be what does it. He's just trying to micro the best he can.
It's going to be the Marauders that win this, if anything.
Yes.
The Marines are brittle enough. They'll still take enough damage from the Banelings to make it a threat. Rogue just really needs to hang on. This hatch, again, very low. He needs, okay, once again, great harpooning.
Dude,
these Marauders cannot stem forever.
The abducts are so good on these medevacs.
Yeah.
Like, Maru's economy is not good enough to just continually produce.
Wow, Maru taps out. I can't take it no mo.
Rogue
That was
up 2-0.
awesome. Rogue doing a great job. I'm super impressed with this play today.
Yeah. He is really just playing like a man on fire right now. It's some great plays coming out of him. Got a little bit over-eager attacking into Maru when Maru had the ghosts up near his natural. But he had a big enough lead that he could still carry it through there. That was very good play from Maru considering he got behind early on against Lingbane Hydra. And when you get behind early with that, like when you do nothing with your initial few attacks, it feels like an impossible comeback. But he almost made it work. Maru is truly extremely good at Supreme Late Game TBC.
Well, you know, Rogue is looking at this saying, okay, I should just have it. I should just be better at CBT. I just got to keep this up. But guys, Rogue has choked before. Rogue has had some of the most up and down days I've ever seen in StarCraft 2, where he's like the most unstoppable Zerg of all time.
Yeah.
The first two games, and then the next three he's falling apart. Let's see if he can keep it together on our next map, Acolyte.
ESL Super Tournament Season 2.
In the upper right, in the blue, he is
Jin Air Green Wings, Maru.
Still has a chance to come back here. We've seen some very close matches tonight, and he's definitely playing well that last game, the comeback. Ooh. Many strength.
in the bottom left in the red. He is
Jin Air Green Wings, Rogue.
Rogue, you know, I think it's hard to argue with Dark being like the best Zerg. But if I were to argue right now at this moment, it would have to be Rogue that I would be arguing for. He's just, his play, some of the things he does, no other Zerg does right now. Like, for instance, his Supreme late game, like end game against Protoss. Holy God, that one game he played on this map, I forget who it was against, maybe it was against Hero or something. It was like the most magnificent thing I've ever seen. He just held a gold base, he let everything else die, and he's like, no. like decision making no other Zerg, including Dark, has ever done.
Well, it seems like with both Dark and Rogue, they have the one thing down that's the scariest thing to deal with against a good Zerg is just really, really, really good late game.
Yeah.
They know they can keep teching and keep getting answers and keep going forward, and they'll always have more unless you've done enough damage to them.
Yeah.
And Rogue's showing that even as Mara moves out on the map and does, again, Mara, one of the scariest Terrans as far as harass goes.
Yeah, absolutely is.
Rogue just thrashes his armies, these small little squads, units that are coming out, and just gets bigger and bigger with each failed attempt. And then when you get to the super late game where Maru's geared up the turtle, Rogue dismantles him. He's totally unfazed.
I feel like, yeah, him and Dark do have the best late game Zerg, just in general, I think. It's just, they're both very, very brainy players in a lot of ways. But, you know, Maru TVZ is always one of the best TVZs.
Yeah.
I guess, like, all the horsemen are ridiculous in the matchup, but I almost feel like Maru's late game definitely better than Bjorn's, in my opinion, against Zerg at least. And probably on par or better than Innovation's late game. He's just so good. Like, when he gets ghosts and stuff, really knows what he's doing. So and this is definitely a map where we can get there again, you know?
Certainly. This is a map that was sort of designed to let players experiment with turtling kind of on a bigger level. You know, a lot of other maps we have, it's like you don't really get a third base without some form of proving yourself within the game. Do you know what I'm saying? There's some kind of like,
I like that.
You must answer these 3 questions before you get a third base.
I like that a lot.
I have siege mode. I have stim. I have medevacs, and here I am, a Terran player. And they're like, you may pass, but
on this
I guess
map,
the siege mode you always have that now. Excuse me. We've been casting too many Brood War games in ASL, but you get what I'm saying. It's like, do you have all the right pieces, and did you do it fast enough?
This map, though, you're right. It is like, what's your favorite color? You know,
Yeah.
it's like, oh my, I like blue. It's
They
like,
say
okay,
blue. They're like, that's their color. You're like, ah, you die. But yeah, on a map like this, you basically just get to third base. It's kind of a freebie, which encourages more games later on. Now, with that being said, you can still get harassed like we're seeing over here. Oh, these angles for the Hellions are so good.
Seriously. Rogue's still sitting here on only 3 queens on defense. So loses 5 drones. Not as bad as what we've seen previously.
You know, he likes to skip, though, a little bit early.
Yeah.
Because if he holds it, he's got more momentum.
He is getting a drop lord right now. So there is this kind of interesting thing we've seen where you kind of counter against these tech-heavy openings with queen drop, something Solar, I believe, invented. But that would be kind of interesting. In the meantime, an armory on the way. So Hellbat's going to be in this game very, very quickly here with Cloaked Banshees. This is scary stuff.
Let's see how he handles his drop. There's just a spore back here.
Dude,
well,
this
there's
is
about to
scary.
be a queen, but this is not enough to just hold. Okay, Ling's coming in. Wow, at the last second. Had he not gotten there sooner, that could have unloaded and done a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's got to be very careful about that as well. If those morph into Hellbats, then suddenly the Lings are not going to do very much.
Ooh, the micro is good.
Wow.
Okay, and while that's happening, he pushes into the front here. We're about to have Hellbats hit everywhere.
Oh, jeez. Oh, well, he targets down the medevac, which is really, really helpful. But Hellbat's going into the front.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh,
There's
he
no
already pulled
drones
the
there. Wow. Well, I mean,
Well, that's a good counter to that.
if it turns out they can't hit drones, this is actually pretty good. And this is going to be cleaned up easily.
Yeah.
In fact, he didn't even, like, turn around or anything. He's like, you know what?
This was super good defense from Rogue. Absolutely. Like, he definitely has a lead here.
So...
But...
Oh, here we go.
Tasteless.
Oh, tasteless. How many factories is he making?
2.
Oh! But I hope he doesn't get rolled this time, for your sake, Artosis.
For my sake.
This whole day for Terran Mech has just been like a recycling compound right now. Like,
Yeah. It's been rough.
this is. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I feel like Rogue looks so solid. By the way, good job with the Banshee.
Yeah.
Doing some damage.
7 kills.
Let's also see what kind of mech composition it's going to be, because I don't know. We've seen a lot of different styles.
I hope
of
he
mech.
adds 2 eBays and we get to see the TVP mech against Zerg. I'm like, what? What is today?
Oh my gosh, it's been spotted. So Rogue's little surprise attack was not going to do anything.
Maru is actually doing a lot of things very well. Yeah, his early aggression didn't work, but the Banshee harassment has been on point. He's stopped a lot of the harassment from Rogue. We've seen Drop Overlords out quite a few times. Yeah, he's got these 3 bases mining for quite a while as well.
Okay, Banshees are now driven back again. Behind this, Terrans continue to upgrade everything mech related. Hellions are going to come in again. Remember, they can turn into Hellbats if they want. Angle in here, very good right now for Rogue. Rogue continuing to try to grow and expand on the map.
You know, he's killed, or rather, Maru has killed a really decent amount of drones at this point. So
Yeah.
Rogue not at quite the economy he wants to be at. His army is not really that good at this moment. Look at this big attack.
Okay, well, you know, Rogue may be brittle enough here that this poke in does a lot of damage. The Cyclones may be unexpected.
Well, the Banelings, can they get a good connection? It's okay,
no.
but
you
not
know
good
what?
enough.
Yeah, they can't. In fact, this might just be too much damage.
It's
I
just
think
too
that
many units.
Rogue didn't identify. I think that this was coming for him. Probably expected something a little bit different. Oh, good Baneling connect. I still think actually Terran has too much. These Banshees somehow never died.
Yeah, how are those that red?
double Dragon Banshees have now been taken out. Okay, well,
He ends up holding.
yeah.
I feel like that was a pretty good attack, though. He kills a lot of queens there, kills a lot of units.
Oh, there's a lot of starting over now for Zerg. But you know, when you do
New
that,
start, new
you
beginning.
did lose all those mech units.
yeah.
I mean,
But
would it have
it's
been better
mostly
to save that?
Hellions. It's like, you know,
True.
I think the
True.
Hellions just are not
Hellions
really
are just
that.
expendable. They're the closest thing to Lings in this matchup.
Yeah.
So,
So I
yeah.
I think everything is fine.
now we got the 2 Thors.
He's only got one in a medevac, though.
That's right.
Hey, Thor, your
That's-
SCV son in that other
that's
game,
right.
he did well. You'd be
He was a
proud.
real hero.
Finish that CC.
Finish that CC. Who won the game?
And Thor,
Oh, don't worry about
the
it. Don't worry
Thor
about
with
it.
a single tear down his cheek.
Yeah.
It's, what does he say? Thor online? He's like, Command Center online.
He's pushing it a little bit further. Now the Thors are kind of the interesting element to a push like this. There's enough Hydras and Banes out, but I don't know if they're going to get proper connects. Thors are pretty beefy, although Hydras can do a lot of damage to them as it is.
Yeah, Hydra damage output in general is just so high. Oh my god, clears right through there. But a lot of Siege Tanks pushing in, some Siege Tanks on the high ground as well. Okay, looks like he wants to back up. Not enough
I
units
feel
here.
like we're in a Greek story called The Myth of Tosiphus,
Yeah.
in which you start to cast a game of mech that looks like they're going to win, and it's like you pushing that boulder up the mountain, and then as it finally gets to the top of the mountain, it rolls back down as the player's lost, and you're going to have to cast that another game again, another day.
But
The
you
myth
know,
of Tosiphus.
At the top of that mountain, Gumiho goes mech against Protoss, and I feel happiness for a moment.
Yeah, for a moment, yeah. So all the tanks die.
Yeah.
Because it seems like he's keeping basically Terran off. Trading the Banes and the Hydras, I think if you're losing tanks and medevacs and Thors, you're in a worse spot if you're Terran.
Maru's at a higher supply with mech against Zerg. There's not a swarm host out. I like Maru still.
Actually, I think the first time in my cast I didn't look at the supply and mention it, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Like that's true. But
Like
I
he-
just feel like he doesn't have.
He
at
keeps
least-
picking off units, but his units aren't that good. Like, he's just on Bane Hydra still. He's
True.
just now starting his Swarmos, 12 of them. So that's where he can start to maybe do some counter damage here. But 2 starports being added for Maru. So he can actually get quite a few flying units here.
What about these? I'm actually liking this for Rogue still. He's
Really?
gonna get 13 Swarm House coming up here, man. I actually think he's going to be okay. As long as he can get the damage off and the Hellions don't penetrate him here, I think he's okay. Am I wrong about this? You really think that Terran's just going to push through here with that?
Well, I don't think he's going to push through right now, but I think these Swarmos are a little bit late. He's
Okay.
been slowed down all game long, and Maru's got fantastic upgrades on the way.
But if he loses the mech army,
Well, yeah, I
there's
mean,
no way to get that back home. It's just Locusts, right?
It's true, but are
But
the
it's-
Locusts
well,
going to attack?
Hold on, let's see. Let's see. I guess the Hellbats here are going to be handy.
Oh, he's flanking him. That's a
Oh.
beautiful move. But is Maru moving forward too quickly? Are the Locusts going to make it? Are they all going to dive on the high ground?
Okay, here we go. Banelings coming in, connecting on the tanks. A lot of damage.
Dude, the Locusts, I think, almost all landed on the high ground.
Well, yeah, they got the 2 tanks on the high ground. He's going to have the next wave come in.
It's going to be a bit till that next wave, though.
He might just get the hatchery. We'll see. Is he going for this? I guess there's enough Hydras. They're still going to take damage when the Banelings do come in.
Well, some of these
Yeah.
Banelings will end up connecting.
Oh! Yeah, he holds it.
That was a dirty cleanup right there.
That was... So now he's lost all the mech units he was making up to this point in time. And this means he can start to do harass. Now, I don't believe we have mass Banshees out yet, right?
No, certainly
Yeah,
not.
we have nothing of the sort.
He's making Banshees, he's making Hyperflight Rotors, but he has mostly Vikings, I believe. By
Okay.
the way, Tasteless, the more that you sit here and decide that these Swarm hosts will be able to gain a lot of value and win this game,
Yeah.
the more you gain European Terran fans.
Oh, is that right?
That's what's happening right now. They're like, see, Tasteless, he knows, man.
We got to hit all
He
these
knows.
different demographics that are watching right now.
yeah.
We
We decided before the cast that Tasteless would
Yeah,
pander
I've
to
got
the
my whole
European
angle.
Terrans.
I've got all the talking points right here. I know what I got to say. This is We got to be equal and balanced in this presentation of this game. Make sure that all sides feel included. But I do feel like, again, it all comes down if the Swarm hosts are able to be kept around.
I think they will be. They're not going to be caught right now. Like, he is getting hyperflight rotors, so maybe he can run around and chase them in a little bit here. The Hive not quite done yet. He did deal with those Banshees previously with Vipers.
Okay, now he's going to come in here. Now, I will say the Vikings actually making this pretty awesome.
Yeah.
He's going to have to try to avoid those Vikings.
Well, that's how Gumiho kind of started to counter this, right? You can push back Vipers and push back Locusts quite a bit with a lot of Vikings, and obviously it just pre-counters any like Broodlord type of play. So Viking.
Again, though, the Viking not that fast. If you can get it if you can attack somewhere the Vikings aren't.
Yeah.
Maybe. Now he's got two different setups here. One's at the top left. And I don't think he can get in there. Definitely not with that many tanks. But the Locusts once again fly in, right? And there are not Vikings over here. If you could just keep landing on these tanks. I mean, granted, he's not killing a lot. Okay,
No,
I'll give him that. But it's free units for.
Over time, it makes a big difference. Yeah. You know, if every time you do that, you kill a tank and a turret, well, that's a lot, right? That's like 12 Storm hosts, so you got to do it like, 6 volleys, and then you've paid for everything easily.
Okay. Once again, Hellions coming down now. This is not bad. He gets about like 9 drones or something like that, maybe 10 with one more volley. Nope. But the Banshee play, this is the late part of the game that Zerg suddenly have a hard time with. Hydras, yeah, they're sort of fast on creep, but the Banshees are air units, and of course the Locusts just, completely are at the target here.
When he gets his Vipers around, he might be able to actually chase these down a little bit more. He does have a Spire on the way as well. Corruptor's a little bit slow against this, though.
Now, the fact that the Banshees are hitting over there means they're not hunting the Locusts. So Rogue is comfortable now dishing out more Banshees. As long as they can avoid the Viking missiles, they're okay. And again, all these tanks get torn to shreds. Hydra's coming in, cutting down some of these Banshees.
Yeah, don't catch as many as I actually thought they were going to right there. But Raven's starting to be made. Some more Vipers being added in. 3-3 finishing up here on everything. 3-3-3 here for Rogue. A lot of command centers on the way as well. Some great creep spread out there. This is a crazy game, man.
Uh-oh, he spotted this, but Hydra's immediately coming here to cover. Banshee's another tricky unit because they also cost so much in gas. Very unforgiving if those get cornered as well. They do die quickly. So Terran, the next base Terran tries to take is going to be the tough one to keep.
Yeah.
All very accessible to Zerg attacks. If you look on the outskirts of the Terran's base. Whoa!
Trying to chase down some of these Swarmos now. Looks like he only gets one that time.
It's kind of insane. You see how fast the Banshees really are when being pursued. Oh, wow. Lots of damage.
Land. What are you doing? Gumiho just lands those, man.
Sometimes we have to quit.
Sometimes we have to quit?
Yeah. Then it just wears off. They're like, level 3 across the board, just finishing up here. So Zerg definitely is going to have some muscle in these fights, even if it is mech. But I don't...
Upgrades don't mean anything if you die before you get to the siege tank. Tasteless.
Terran's kind of pulled back for the time being. You know, the funny thing about this map is even though you're safe from almost everything from a big ground attack, you have all these walls here, the Locusts allow them to freely abuse you from that position. And as long as the Banshees don't get there, you're not really going to do much to hold it. But these Banshees have done a lot this game.
Yeah, they definitely have gotten a lot of value. He's making some more now as well, even getting that Liberator range upgrade.
When we get to this phase of the game, you really want to take a look at the Zerg's minerals and gas, because it's huge. And it's banking up a lot by the minute.
It is huge.
3K minerals and 3K gas.
Jeez.
That is so much gas, Artosis.
He's sitting on 64 drones, so, like, I mean, as long as he's not losing too much, he's totally fine on this number. Sometimes against mech, you'll see Zerg get more drones than that to just really super bank it up, but then the army is a bit weaker.
Wow, he comes there trying to just bash that down. Again, a lot of tanks just being remade that are killed off by the Locusts. Now, that might not seem like a lot, but when this game is said and done, and Zerg has only traded units and either free units just for important units for Terran or gas units for Terran, that's when we may see a different outcome. And this is where the calculus becomes a little bit tricky, because it may look like nothing's happening when in fact you start to add the numbers together and it's actually a lot.
Both sides maxed out at this point.
Right?
6 Ravens, 10 Vikings, 10 Banshees. The cost efficiency of what Maru is trying to do here is really, really high.
Okay, here we go. Locusts are coming in now.
Yeah, cleaning this up pretty quickly.
Oh, great. Great job with the parasitic bombs there.
Great splitting, though. Look at that, not letting them touch each other. Now he can repair. But mana costs less than repairing Tasteless. What do you think about that one?
What about that madness?
Ooh.
If
only there was a repairing spell for mana. Oh, wait a minute. The new patch after BlizzCon. Can't wait.
If we're doing a mineral check here, Zerg is beginning to take the exterior bases on basically the Zerg side of the map. Granted, these bases are hard to keep. This is kind of where, this is really the only place you can go as Zerg on this map. Which also means that Zerg might mine out before the Terran. Even though Zerg has a lot more money stocked up, that's something worth noting. Uh-oh. Artosis.
Be better if you would target.
Yeah.
Just kind of flies him in there, so takes a little bit more damage than really should have, but might be able to kill that base off anyways. Nicely placed Liberator. That's going to be annoying to go deal with.
Slowly chasing these out. Oops.
It's very rare that you actually see Parasitic Bomb kill something.
I know. He's doing a good job with this Liberator, but there's actually enough spores being spread somewhat across the map that I don't know how much more Liberator Harass can do. But Terran is finally Artosis decided to push out. Now there's no more gas banked up for Terran, by the way.
Oh, that's
It's
true.
just he gets what he's mining. Zerg has a lot more. So even if Zerg loses his whole army, guys, keep in mind he can pretty much remake it.
There are some more bases still out here in the middle, so if he takes some ground, definitely can get more going.
Oh my god. Look at this. I don't know if this is wise.
Oh, starting to throw off some Seeker missiles here. Oh god, he's up to 13 Ravens.
Yeah, and you know, we were talking about this earlier. On the other maps we saw, or at least the other map I should say, Maru was trying to turtle it out to Ravens, but Rogue never really let that happen.
Yeah.
This game, whether it's Rogue zone play, Maru zone play, or the map, the very nature of it, or a combination of the three, Rogue has not really been able to get in here and shut down Maru. He's been a nuisance, but he hasn't actually been able to, like, seize control.
Yeah. Maru's still able to do what he wants to do.
Yeah, and this may, I think, mostly come down to the map, but I'm not sure.
And some Corruptors actually out here as well now. And this is where those Ravens can really become powerful. But those are some great parasitic bombs. Oh my god!
Honestly, if he keeps losing air units to parasitic bombs like this, it doesn't matter how effective the Ravens really are.
It's very true. Ravens are super expensive. That's why he doesn't have any gas left. Those Ravens took it all.
And now Rogue is just going to keep continuously draining structures for mana and come in here and rinse and repeat. Now getting some Corruptors with this to give him a little bit more of an answer to anything anti-air that's airborne right now for the Terran. Because it seems like the biggest issue that has to be addressed first and foremost is Maru's air army. And then the ground army from Terran.
I love Rogue's late game so much. Like, even the Corruptor count, it's not that many, but it will tank so that he can get all his spells up. Look at all those Viper spells. That's wild.
Yeah, but I think there was too much on the ground there for Terran.
Yeah.
I think Maru's slowly going to win this one, Artosis.
Flip-flop, flip-flop. What's that? The sound of Tasteless.
That's right. I'm a Fairweather fan of these games. I'm a Fairweather predictor.
You always think the person who's winning is going to win.
Yeah, exactly.
You fool.
Yeah. He's going to try to come in here a little bit further. Again, Rogue banked up a lot, but I just don't know if he is going to be able to combo together the right number of units to actually stop this. So, Terran, I mean, this is not an easy push. If at any moment Zerg shuts this down, it's going to be very bad for the Terran.
Sick blinding clouds coming out right now. Good pre-spread on these Vikings, though, to kind of prevent Parasitic Bomb from wrecking everything.
Looks like he has a small army that's coming through there and slowly doing damage to that, but the sheer length and width of the tank push makes it hard. You have to have so many blinding clouds to just shut down any opportunity of doing that. We're getting a hard push through here. Turrets on the ground, sensor towers, you name it.
Vikings in the sky.
Yeah.
Widowmine's under the ground if he had any, but he doesn't.
And he's just gradually chipping away at the Zerg, leaving, note, the very center right base open for Terran to expand to later. If Terran has to go back and turtle, Zerg should probably run out of money during this whole process.
Now eating up a lot of those Corruptors right there. Some great point defense drones coming out.
Yeah, very nicely done. More Corruptors coming out.
Now this is where I think a lot of Terrans win games with Ravens against Zerg is eventually you feel compelled to make a bunch of Corruptors, and then, man, it can get very, very dirty when you're throwing down the secret missiles.
Oh my God. Took that out. That's very important. Terran should be almost mined out everywhere else.
Well, this command center, actually, next time this happens, right, he can just lift off and run away with the SCVs.
That is true.
So he'll still be able to mine from there for now. He has that gold base as well. Continuing to push forward into some of Rogue's territory.
Terran is now rolling through here. And it seems like Zerg doesn't quite have a response. So Terran moves unpunished, at least for now. Okay, here we go. Targeting down. The problem is these turrets.
It's so funny.
The turrets make it really annoying.
There's so many ground units here for Maru, and it's just like flying units for Rogue in front of it. See, he has these locusts from time to time, but...
Okay, he's going for it. This is a lot of locusts, but I mean, just the sheer amount of muscle on the ground here for Terran makes it kind of impossible to respond to for the Zerg. The Zerg's gotten in this weird lopsided tech where he's got this huge air army that can mostly just address the air.
Yeah. Corruptor's not doing too well against the siege tanks, to be perfectly honest.
It's also funny because you have so many Corruptors out, and then it's like, well, I got to get rid of these things.
Well, he's making a few Broodlords at least, so that will help. And he has enough Corruptors and Vipers here that he can kind of slow down anything from killing his broods.
All right, here we go, more.
Okay, here comes the Seeker missiles, though.
It doesn't connect.
Did he get outranged? No.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, one.
Well, at least he split
I think there was a second
well.
one.
Oh. Okay, more parasitic bombs going down all over the place, trying to get that splash damage all over the Vikings.
Unfortunately, it's only 3 Broodlords for the time being. Slowly wearing that out. More targeting coming in here.
With the Vikings getting so many pot shots due to point defense drones.
Yeah, range also quite good. So if they ever skirt by each other, it's always going to be Vikings doing some shots off over there.
Not a lot of minerals left around.
Terran is actually kind of broke. I think Zerg's got...
But he's losing almost nothing during all this as well, let's not forget.
It's kind of weird. It's so much energy going into energy here. Okay. Is he going to just try to commit here? These swarm hosts are very important.
It's like a Dragon Ball Z fight.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, so the gold base goes down. This is Terran scanning to try to get rid of the 1 Ling. This Terran only has...
1+3 carapace Ling with 5 attack SCVs.
Yeah. So that CC's just now landed. I don't think Terran can expand over here to the right because of the creep.
Yeah, not quite yet. He can push that back, though. Both sides just so poor on their gas.
Yeah, they're both pretty broke. Terran's got a ground army that's a real threat. Zerg is able to do actually a lot with a little with just these few Lings.
Yeah, this is kind of an interesting point in the game, too. When the economy really gets to slow down and people are moving around with these kind of death balls, setting up little tiny side attacks like Lings, you definitely can gain some areas of the map, like free up, even if it's buildings that they aren't necessarily using actively, like those missile turrets. Is that an area they're really going to fight over?
That was such a sick save.
No, you can just shoot it anyways. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Remember that, guys? They can do that, too.
Yeah.
Blah. Goodbye.
Gotcha.
Does he just go up there and do it to the planetary?
I want him to go start killing missile turrets like that. That's when
Yeah.
you really know you got it.
Well,
Not even sure where
there's
those locusts
not.
are.
Yeah, I don't know. They're
they going
set out
towards the
pretty
gold,
far
I
away.
guess?
I think to just get turrets.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, if you think about it, Terran does not have a lot of minerals. If he can actually, every turret he takes out basically cannot be remade now.
okay. Yeah, it's true.
There's like 100 minerals in the bank right now for Maru.
Oh, these SUVs on auto repair. I don't think he really cares about
Yeah,
that
I
turret.
don't think you want to repair that, bro. How will you make a hatchery if it's on fire? Says Maru with a dark laugh. What? Something happened there.
Overlord.
It's like so many things shot at it at once. It didn't even have a death animation. It just disappeared. They removed the code for the Overlord in the game. It's like, no, you're gone.
Immediately Rogue becomes supply blocked.
I don't know. It seems like Zerg is able to more freely poke for the time being.
Yeah, Maru is very low on money right now, but he has way more income than Rogue. Rogue really is barely
but-
mining now.
I'm actually surprised he's going to try to come over here. I guess I'm just surprised he didn't send the. Am I missing something, Artosis? He didn't just send the corruptors over there and try to take out this base in the upper left? Because Terran
you
mining
mean-
on two bases
yeah.
is just too much.
I think he's a little bit nervous about doing that. First off, if he does that, Mario can counterattack bottom right and kill everything. And then also, there is the possibility, right, that you get kind of hemmed in over there. You're on Maru's side of the map. Maybe he comes in and you can't dodge the Seeker missiles. And if Seeker missiles start connecting with corruptors,
you're so smart. That makes a lot of sense. Seeker missiles, you get at an angle you can't dodge.
yeah, you need to be able to run back in your own territory against that. Ooh, good Baneling hits.
Okay, Maru's starting to get a sufficient amount of minerals and gas here. Lightning clouds coming down, the Locust coming in.
Can I run something by you, Tasteless?
Yeah, do it.
When you abduct something, it comes off the ground. Graphically it does, theoretically it does.
Yeah,
right?
no, definitely.
Why can't corruptors hit it while it's coming? Why
It's a
can't
good
you
question.
just abduct that Thor and kill it midair with the corruptors?
That would be sick.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why not.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Terran is comfortable pushing out now. Sorry, the upper left still has minerals, right? I think it has just
Very little, though.
I think it's almost dried up. So it really is going to come down to the center right base. By the way, Zerg never took, or Zerg doesn't still have the center left, so there is a backup plan for Zerg. Okay, here we go.
Awesome. Wow, that's a lot of Seeker missiles going off. He's trying to split out the red corruptors.
Oh, actually, that was really good.
Yeah, you split off
actually-
the only one that actually got hit, so that was good.
And so for all this damage that happens with the parasitic bomb, Terran can repair, but it costs money, Artosis. Money definitely kind of the big story behind this whole game.
And Zerg, as we know, are like Reapers. They heal.
Yeah. And
You know what doesn't heal? Dead buildings.
no. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Here we go.
Some parasitic bombs going down here once again.
I don't see where it's going to hit.
Oh, Rogue is really committing this time.
Oh, he's coming in.
Does he have enough to break through here? I don't think so,
I
man.
think
That
the
is a
Viking
ton of
number is
Vikings.
the Viking number is comically big, which also means
And the point defense drones
the
is
swarm
really
hosts.
open.
Yeah, the point of drones are huge. Swarm hosts, they can't really do anything with that many Vikings. They just shoot everything out of the air.
Dude, their banks are like nothing right now. Look at their money.
Yeah.
Their incomes are super low as well. They're both sub 200 supply for the first time in what feels like 20 minutes at least.
This is a wild game. I mean, we're still kind of waiting. Terran spent a lot, by the way, trying to move forward here. Zerg's been pushed back, but is using mostly these free units. It's been a lot of Broodlords. It's been a lot of Swarm Hosts. Some Viper abilities.
Yeah, that little tiny group of Hydras actually getting a little bit of value over there.
Yeah, well,
Kinda-
Terran doesn't have a ton of mobility here.
Yeah, running around. What are you going to send up to deal with that? Vikings? I don't think so. Those Hydras will kill just about every Viking he has by themselves.
Yeah. And but you can see now Terran knows he has to reincorporate tanks into his unit composition or face a most certain death.
Yeah.
Terran's continuously scanning, and it seems like Zerg is very intentionally not taking the center-left expansion. He's going to take that at the very last second.
I'd love to see stats in a game like this, like how much value Vipers got, how much value Stormhost got. Like, how much did those Stormhosts actually kill this game?
It's a good question. Well, when there are no Vikings there, he comes in and smashes everything. But this is like sort of this is one of the harder things to cast, to be totally honest with you guys. Because there's so many variables at play here.
Yeah, it's super. They're
Crazy.
like mining out this map, very much so. It's both sides are just trying to be so cost efficient at this point.
Again, though, maybe minus point defense drone or seeker missile rather.
But by the way,
it's hard for Terran to just do damage with spells.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, it's like they're kind of pushing forward with siege units like tanks and turrets, right? And then like when you come in with your air, that's when they deal damage with spells. It's against your units, not against your buildings. But actually, one thing I do want to point out here, because I mentioned earlier that Rogue is like makes decisions late game with Zerg that not even Dark does. I feel like he's truly such an expert of late game Zerg. But I want everyone to notice that he has not made a single infester this game. Not even one infester.
That's actually a good point. I almost forgot that unit's like in the game.
Every other Zerg in the world, I want to say, would have gotten infestors, Neural, everything.
Terran is sacking SCVs to add a little bit more army supply here. By the way, Terran is going to mine out before Zerg, and that means Terran's going to try to push in here. Stop this gold base from mining. A lot of spores, a lot of brood lords, a lot of swarm hosts here. He's chipping away, man.
The gold base is not going to last long. He better chip quicker.
Well, that's a scary thing, right? It takes so long to dig through this.
Yeah. The gold base might just be mined out by then, and it's like, okay. I guess you got the geysers before they're gone, maybe. Oh, look at this. Oh, silly SCVs. That's a Zerg hatchery.
Yeah, you know, he's just going to go in there and try to steal up all the minerals if he can.
Oh my God, a land on the Vikings here. He's got to get out of the way.
But there are so many Hydras. In fact, Artosis, there are too many Hydras.
Oh my God.
He just doesn't have an answer. Seeker missiles coming down.
Oh God, he even has detection here for those Banshees that come in and do start helping out.
Rogue has made the adjustments. Maru's last army. Maru's last chance. It looks like it may be all over.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Almost nothing left here for Maru, but hold on, the Cloaked Banshees are cleaning things up. There's no detection here.
Yeah, it looks like he finally got the last ones. But another Overseer, and I think he just goes right back over to the base.
He barely even has the money for an Overseer at this point, but Rogue has so much more supply. Truly a magnificent victory for our Zerg player.
Yeah, let's see if he closes
crap,
it out.
I can't believe he won this game. Truly, I was on Team Maru for most of this game.
Yeah, with these Lings coming in here, I mean, that was a smart move by Maru to just try to long-distance mine and make some use of these SCVs, because there's nothing on Maru's side of the map he can really mine. There might be like one or two almost bunk patches. It's not going to be enough.
Rogue is the most patient Zerg I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, this game, his patience is truly what won him this. He never made rash moves at all. A lot of times you'll get frustrated as Zerg, you'll be like, okay, I got to make a move here.
Well, it's annoying. It's frustrating to play against a really turtly Terran, right?
Yeah.
He's like, no, it's okay. I am spending mana. It's hard for me to split against these Seeker missiles.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to know when to attack, but if I do it right, you are losing money.
But this game is Rogues now, right?
Well, it looks like it should be Artosis.
Yeah, man, he's coming in here killing all the anti-air and all the drones.
Well, he needs some more Overseers, but the Hydra's coming in now. I mean, Hydra's attack so fast, it's not exactly like a point defense drone. It saves the day, right?
Like, you need siege tanks to counter that, right? How do you... These Hydras, can't they kill everything he has, really?
You have to take cover behind a planetary.
He has 6 Hellions, 6 Vikings, 5 Ravens, and 2 Banshees. Oh, God. That wasn't good.
All right, so he's landing this now. I think this is our last attack.
Yeah, he's trying to hold on with this planetary. The Hellions actually coming up to flank. Hey.
You know, he wants to be careful here, man. You don't want to, like, overextend foolishly, and suddenly you're like, oh, no, Hellions. He's just got enough Hellions all of a sudden.
Yeah, but he still has some income, so he can make some more units anyways.
He's got some Swarm hosts coming up here now.
Oh boy.
And yeah, I mean, with supply at 23, certainly you can't have that much left over. I think that's it. GG.
Wow.
Wow, Rogue really with results I didn't anticipate.
That's
So,
okay.
But then again, Rogue, he either has really good days or really bad days. And today was really good.
Yeah, that was just magnificently played. I can't even believe that he won that last game. The patience was off the charts. Any Zerg having trouble with sweeping that game in against Protoss or against Terran, just watch Rogue all the time. Like he actually does outperform even Dark.
He actually knows. He's figured it out.
Yeah.
And you know what? So many things to say about that game. For one, he didn't immediately try to gobble up the left side base.
Yeah.
After, I think that was taken out at some point in time, he just left it there. Said, it's okay.
Yeah.
I've got a gold base. I'm going to try to stay super stable. I'm not going to let him push into me. I'm going to have just enough to defend. I'm going to keep reevaluating over and over and over again. What is my opponent's unit composition?
Yeah.
Keep responding. Terran is going to run out of money before me. As crazy as that sounds, usually Terran runs out of money first, but he was super patient. He hung on.
Yeah.
And then eventually he had the right combination of stuff to come in there and take him out. Rogue 3-0ing Morrow to close things out tonight.
Tonight was a fantastic night. As you can see, Innovation versus Time. It was a good match, 3-1 for Innovation, but Time, both the first games he could have won, did win one of them. Classic versus Alive. Wow, Alive really fought back right there.
That's right.
Really, really close match. Dear Gumiho, very interesting games. Gumiho playing really neatly strategically, but not enough tonight. And then, of course, you just watched Maru Rogue. Wow. So, that means the other round of 16.5 we will be playing tomorrow. Of course, SOS still in contention for BlizzCon.
That's right. I think he can do it against Ryung.
Yes, I think that's a decent matchup for him.
Zest vs. Hero coming up as well.
That's crazy.
Also, Dark vs. Bunny and Super Stats.
These are a lot of good matches. Going to be fun to see Dark busting out once again. This guy just such a monstrous Zerg at the moment. And yeah, make sure you tune in tomorrow night, guys. Don't forget, it's at 5 p.m. KST. That's an hour and a half before GSL generally is. So
That's right. And so do not miss out. Again, we're going to be right on tomorrow, and we're going to go all the way through the weekend. So Saturday, Sunday, we'll be doing it at the exact same time as well. So whether you're coming to the studio or you're tuning in online, you don't want to miss out. We're going to have a champion in just 3 more days.
yeah, wow. This was a great night, Tasteless.
It
really
was.
had a lot of fun with these games, and I think tomorrow night is going to be just as good, if not better. The stories continue. We have now 2 of the 5 players that are in contention for that last BlizzCon spot are eliminated. Maru will not be going. Alive will not be going.
That's right.
It will be one out of Rogue, Classic, and SOS. We might eliminate one tomorrow. Who knows?
Who knows, man? It's kind of hard to still tell who exactly can move on until we get this entire
Actually,
phase of the tournament.
They were the
knocked
lower.
out.
Now that I think about it, Classic, Alive, and Maru were the ones that were closer to SOS. So SOS's chances went up tonight.
Crazy. We got to close it out, guys. We love you. Have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. We will see you tomorrow for day 2 of the GSL Super Tournament.
When we were younger, never should have said our goodbyes. So baby,